Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I know it's been long, but today I have come up with a video which is very highly requested. I'm not kidding. Almost हर बंदा मुझसे ये पूछता है and I get a lot of questions regarding this. So I thought of like addressing this question today. And so let's get started. But if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Prerna. I've traveled around 19 countries solo in the past 6-7 years while I have been working in a proper 9 to 5 job. So let's get started. So to start with, I am not rich. Like many people assume कि हाँ भाई बहुत पैसे होंगे travel करती है. No, it's not like that. But yet I have been able to travel. That's because it's something that I genuinely wanted to do. So what I want to say is make your why clear. Like, why do you want to travel? So when I was a kid, or maybe I was in school, I remember I used to see videos, vlogs, or read about things, and I have always had that passion that I want to see the world, I want to travel, and I have always had that instinct within me. So I have always loved traveling, and I have been doing that since 2015, 16ish was my first solo trip that I had done. And that time Instagram reels and all of this was not even present as such. So what I want to say is get your why clear, because I see a lot of people, they say they want to travel, but I what I figure out is mostly because of the social pressure, or if they think it's cool, or they just want to do it for the pictures and videos, which is fine enough. But getting your why clear is really important. For me, I thrive from it. I have learned a lot from it. I have completely changed as a person for the better because of traveling. So it's something that really inspires me. I would do this even if Instagram or social media is not present tomorrow. If you do not have company, solo traveling helps you grow as a person a lot. Maybe you want to travel because you want to see different places, and you have not had much exposure. You want to experience cultures, meet new people, new stories. Maybe you just want to document things and just experience life, or maybe there could be many other reasons. Okay, so my why was clear. I want to see the world, meet new people, different cultures, different experiences, and see what's out there, because I think for the first 23, 24 years of my life, I hardly went anywhere. Yes. So no one in my family likes traveling. So that thing was there within me, that I want to see the outside world. So to start with the first point, which is leaves. So every organization has certain leaves which they give it to the employee. It could have different names like casual leaves, sick leaves, privilege leaves, paid leaves, and so on and so forth. So आपकी organization में भी definitely leaves होंगे. So first thing is get your calendar, get your holiday calendar at the start of the year, of what are the mandatory leaves which are always there in your organization, and what are the some optional leaves. For example, in Bangalore, we do not really have Holi Diwali ka leaves, but we have something called as Karnataka Day, which is a mandatory leave. So according to your organization, according up where are you based in India, it differs. Second point related to leaves which I want to mention is please take all your leaves. So quick story, I think it was during the COVID times, the COVID year, and I hardly took any leaves from my organization. And because I was like कि कहाँ ही जाएंगे अभी, and there was all the job crunching happening, so I was scared, and I was like, let me save some money. You do not take all of your leaves, it gets carry forward, and when you leave the organization you can get them encashed. In the sense, for example, I have 20 leaves and I can carry forward 10 leaves. So when I'm leaving the organization, if I still have those 10 pending, I can get them encashed for money. So I was like, पैसे मिल जाएंगे, better है, and all of that. But down the road, what I've realized is it's not worth it. It's not worth it, in the sense that that whole year I was so burnt out, I was so stressed, I was working like crazy, and because of that COVID and everything, there was no break. And it was just not a good year mentally as well. It affected me a lot. So after that, I decided that I'm going to take all the leaves, because for example, I got 20,000 rupees. Now maybe like 3-4 years later, those 20,000 rupees, I don't even know where it is. Kahin kharch ho gaya hoga, somewhere it might have gone, or it is not of much value in my life. That 20,000 did not really add much value in my life. But imagine, had I taken like a trip for that money, those memories, meeting new people, and that whole experience will is something that I will always cherish for the rest of my life, and I will always have it. So again, but having said that, if you have definitely have responsibilities, if you have certain things to take care of, so definitely then it's not for you in that way. But this is a more like a general suggestion. The third most important thing related to leaves is planning. Oh my god, I can't stress, this is the most important thing. So firstly, when you get your holiday calendar, just check which are the holidays which are primarily on a फ्राइडे और ऑन अ मंडे. बिकॉज होता क्या है, अगर आप फ्राइडे एंड मंडे को कोई छुट्टी है, यू गेट सैटरडे संडे कंबाइंड लीव. आप एक दो और आगे ले साथ में कंबाइन करके यू गेट लाइक अ बिग बंच ऑफ लीव्स. सो आई रिमेंबर इन 2021 or 2 I went on a Ladakh trip, bike trip, and I went for like 9 days. So that was a very good planning that I had done at the start of the year, because on that specific week the दो छुट्टियां थी ऑलरेडी, तो मुझे सिर्फ 3 days लेना पड़ा. एंड I got 4 Saturdays and Sundays. So basically, I got a 9-day leaves by just applying for 3 days leave. And this is something that I had planned on the start of the year. So look out for these leaves which are on Mondays and Fridays and apply them ASAP. Also because all your colleagues are going to do the same. सबको ये छुट्टियां चाहिए होती है. So you be the first person to get it applied so that you can get it approved fastest. Later on, it becomes a big problem, because when everyone in the team wants to apply for the same leaves, it's not going to get approved. Secondly, if there's any event that you want to go to, for example, birthday, anniversary, or any of the important occasions that you have for the year, which is planned, obviously, not the unplanned ones. So book your holidays or book your vacations already in advance. For that, apply the leaves in advance, so you have a proper planning towards the start of the year, and you know how much leaves do you have pending, how much you don't, and you can plan things accordingly. So now sometimes comes the questions of budget, like it's too expensive, how to travel so much, and all that. So let's go. So firstly, in terms of budget travel, if you want to do, if you're a solo traveler, or even if you're just one or two friends, I think hostels are the best option. That's how I did a lot of my initial travels. Even today, at times when I'm traveling solo to an unknown place, I'm not very sure, I tend to book hostels. Actually, when I started traveling back in 2014, 15, 16, hostels were not that much prominent. Hostel, Moustache, Ghost Stops and all of that, ये सब बहुत recent आए हैं compared to that. So that time these options were not even there. So hostels are a great way to even meet new people. I have so many friends right now all over India. Like every city, every state, I have friends even outside India, and that's because you just meet them at hostels. So it's a great way to make friends as well, and you feel better, safe and secure if you're traveling for the first time. And they're definitely very cheap. You get hostels starting at low as 500 rupees. Second option in terms of budget travel is do shoulder season travel. So place has got something called as peak season as shoulder season. So peak season is definitely, as you can understand, कुछ important event होगा उस time पे, उस जगह पे, or something or the other is important in that area during that time. So you get a lot of crowd, lot of tourists which are going to come here. Because of that, things will be pricey. Food, stay, traveling experience, everything becomes pricier. But if you go during the shoulder season, everything becomes much cheaper. So that's what even I have done traveling. For example, अगर आप बनारस जा रहे हो इंडिया में, if you go during Diwali, oh my god, it's super crowded. But again, if you go towards Feb के आसपास and all of that, it's not that expensive. You get good options for everything and you can enjoy. It's not that crowded also. So try and look for shoulder season traveling. That really helps you a lot in saving your budget. So if you're a student and if you're just starting out, look for volunteering options. They're amazing. So a lot of places, primarily hostels, they will give you volunteering options. For example, you can check on their websites, you can DM them, or if there's a number, you can just directly call them. Or even at times when you go there, you can ask them if they have any volunteering options. What happens primarily is you offer some services, maybe in terms of social media management, maybe in terms of management looking overall, or help them out with certain tasks or whatever things they have. And in return, you get free food and free stay and maybe experiences. So that differs from place to place. You have a lot of volunteering options, international as well. There are a couple of websites. I'll try and link them into the description. Do check them out. They are very legit. I have myself met a lot of people while I travel who were volunteering. So that's a great start you can go ahead with. Another option, this is more on a personal experience, is that don't chase or don't go for what everyone tells you. You look for what interests you. For example, in Bali, there's this Bali swing which you must have seen. It's very, very famous. But when I went, I did not go for it because, firstly, it did not interest me that much. I think it was way too touristy and it's not really much of an experience. It's more like just fun and all. So I was not really interested. But I see a lot of people going there and they spent almost a day going, coming, waiting, spending time over there, which I feel is not my cup of tea. I saved a day, I probably spent that day somewhere else, which I enjoyed more. So choose what you want to do instead of just following the crowd. Maybe you can choose hikes, offbeat places that will save you on your money, and then maybe you will have much better experiences. So third and the most important, I think, is the remote jobs. So what do I say when I mean by remote jobs? So I think post COVID this has become much of a easier norm, in the sense that you are employed, you're working full time, but your job does not really want you to come to office every day. So we have something called as hybrid also, again, which you can prefer, where organizations want you to come office at least 2 to 3 days, or the best is remote jobs. So when you're applying for remote jobs, generally during the interview process or while you're applying, they will mention it down there that it's a remote job. So that is what I have done as well. I think post COVID, when I worked in one or two organizations, they were was specifically looking out for jobs which do not require me to come to office. So just take my laptop to places. I have done workations in a lot of places: Mulki, Varkala, Bir, Himachal, multiple places. So the whole day I would work and close my laptop. Evenings I would go out, or if I had break during the day, certain times I would just go to a cafe, explore something. And the weekends I always had with me. So you can work like a digital nomad, get an experience. I think that's the best combination. Also, another option is freelancing. I have not done that as of now much. I have been into proper 9 to 5 job, but again, freelancing is a great option. There are again multiple sites for both specific remote jobs as well as freelancing, where which I'll again link in the description, which you can check out. So in freelancing, you're not really employed with one organization. You expertise yourself in one skill, maybe content writing, social media management, and project manager, product manager, or multiple other aspects, and you work for multiple clients at the same time, or maybe just one organization. You have your flexibility of time, you have your flexibility of location, and yeah, you get paid decent as well if you are expertised in that field. So again, look for these options. And if you really want to travel full time going forward in future, so I think this is a good start where you get a good hang of how the digital nomad life is like, because I think everything looks very fancy on the upfront, but जब हम actual में experience करते हैं, we realize maybe it's not our cup of tea. Another option which you can do is take small trips. So traveling does not really mean कि आपको यूरोप जाना है, आपको ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाना है and you have to go to Bali or Indonesia, Malaysia. No, it does not really mean fancy international places. I think in India we are blessed. There are so many places which are so beautiful. Our country has got everything you need. So wherever you are based in India, I am sure आपके city के पास, आपके state के पास में there are multiple travel options which you have. So firstly वो explore करो. So traveling, if you really like, you don't really have to go outside. Look for cheaper nearby options which you can go for like weekends. So every weekend try and look for places nearby. Like currently I'm based in Bangalore, so yahan se there's multiple options like Gokarna, Udupi, Chikmagalur, Wayanad, Hampi, and even Kerala, small places. So you can just take an overnight bus, overnight train, so easy options, and just travel the weekend. Okay, so another tip that I would give is more like a personal recommendation is do not add your office colleagues to your socials. So आज के time पे I know everyone, if you are traveling, you would want to upload pictures on Instagram, and that's quite a norm, which is fine. But just my personal suggestion is do not add your office colleagues. What I do, I'm just giving a tip, is I have created another account for me on Instagram, and there I have uploaded around 5 or 6 pictures, and that is a private account. So for example, if I join a new organization and I make friends or my teammates and everyone is like, let's add on Instagram. So I would direct them to my private account, but I like to keep my work and my personal life separate. So this is a lesson that I have learned with so many years of work experience, is to keep both of them different, so that you can have mental sanity, as well as I think it is good and healthy for both the places. so I would just block them from my public account. I know blocking is not necessary, it's just that when you add someone, and at times वो suggested वाला options आता है, right, suggested profiles and all of that. So my travel page is called Prerna Travels, which I'm sure is very evident by the name that people can easily identify, or just out of curiosity check who is this. So I would not discuss my Instagram page, my travel page in my office premises with my colleagues, with my teammates, or anyone for that matter. No one knows. Most of the people still don't know I have this travel page. So this is just a personal way I feel that works for me. If you have someone which you feel is really good friend and all of that, go ahead. Let me give you an example. Maybe I traveled a place 2 weeks back and I plan to upload like a itinerary fun reel of that, and I get like a 1 hour break during the day and I plan to upload it now. But what if my colleagues, they are working on certain very urgent and something very critical, and they happen to see the reel? It sort of human nature, they might not like it, that, hey, I'm working so hard, she's always traveling, I don't know if she's working also, and she hardly works, she's just traveling, having fun. So people generally just get to see the good side and make judgments, and you know probably nazar also hits a lot. So I think it worked better for me to keep both of them separate. This is something I've learned as adult. And obviously I do have some office friends with I'm really close with, and they do know about my travel page, and we even discuss travel and a lot of things together. But with some people, I just keep it very separate. So this is a tip for you guys, which I just personally follow, and I think it really helps. So, yeah, this is what I could think of now, all the major points. If you have any questions, or if you have any doubts, or if you're not sure about anything, please feel free to put it into the comments. I will definitely try and answer as much as possible. I have tried to remain as raw and as authentic and as real as possible, to be honest, here. And I would just request one thing, that don't travel just for the sake of pictures and videos and all. You will not like it. In the longer run, you will have like a burnout. And also, don't make any hasty decision by seeing influencers or content creators ki bhai ye sahi hai, I don't want to work, I'll just travel, find out something. uh, be sensible. Money is important. The way I have fund all my travels is through my job, so I'm really grateful for that. I have never taken a penny from anyone ever, so all my travels have been self funded. So know your finances. Please be realistic that money is really important for travel. Travel is a very expensive hobby. And even if you're wanting to be like a content creator or influencer, money flows in much later in your process, right? Actually, you will not have a lot of money coming in at all. So how do you fund that? Go out there, enjoy, have fun. It's a small life at the end of the day. Spend on experiences, travel as much as possible.